we will speak about the case of Laurie Smith versus Hellenis. Laurie Smith is a graphic and website designer that wants to expand her business, Creative 303, to the wedding announcement business. Laurie Smith, a devoted Christian who believes that the marriage should be between one man and one woman, is afraid that the anti-discrimination law of Colorado will prevent her from discriminating people based on sexual orientation and gender and identity. Smith, represented by Alliance Defending Freedom, sued Colorado in 2016, seeking to block enforcement of the Anti-Discrimination Act of Colorado State. The court accepted this, yet in 2019, it ruled against Laurie Smith and in favor of Colorado State and the Act of Anti-Discrimination. She appealed to the 10th Circuit of Colorado, yet again, she was denied in the ruling of 2-1 in favor of Colorado State. Nevertheless, the court did recognize Mrs. Smith's pre-enforcement challenge that her First Amendment will be violated. Yet, it ruled in favor of the Anti-Discrimination Act because it satisfied strict scrutiny. Sorry about that. Yet, Mrs. Smith has filed a writ of certiorari to the Supreme Court, which was granted, and the Supreme Court will see this case now in February 2022. Today, we might see a shift in the Supreme Court's First Amendment jurisprudence. Following the death of Ruth Bader Ginsburg and the retirement of Justice Kennedy, besides that, we have the appointment of Justice Kavanaugh and Justice Coney Barrett. The public assumption is that the court, leaning towards the First Amendment jurisprudence supporting the appellant, says the public accommodation law not only regulates commercial conduct, but at the same time indirectly restricts the protected speech that protected in the First Amendment. Yet, we will have to wait and see what the court decides today. We are now moving to the court to hear the sides and the judgment of the justices.
Good morning, Ms. Smith.
Hello.
Listen, let's be honest. You've lost at the district court already. You lost your appeal too. Today is not going to be any different. Let's move on, forget about it, let it be, move on with our lives.
I don't think I'm going to lose this case. I'm sure the justices will see that I'm right.
Listen, you're directly against the Anti-Discrimination Act of the state of Colorado. You don't have a chance.
And you're directly against the freedom of speech that is the First Amendment of the Constitution. So I think I'm going to have it. And beyond that, I think that my lawyer will punish you. And
I'll see you at court, you son of a lala.
The Honorable, the Chief Justice and the Associate Justices of the Supreme Court of the United States. Oh yea, oh yea, oh yea. All persons having business before the Honorable, the Supreme Court of the United States are admonished to draw near and give their attention, for the court is now sitting. God save the United States and this honorable court.
Your Honor, I'm the owner and sole member of the 303 Creative Company. I'm a graphic and a web designer, and I wanted to expand my business and offer wedding website services, but I recognized that my refusal to make such website for same-sex couples would likely violate the Colorado's Anti-Discrimination Act. Making a business owner like myself, a religious person who believes in a conservative institution of marriage, to make such website for same-sex couples, or in a different scenario, compelling me not to expand my business, is harming my right to freedom of speech. And what does freedom of speech has to do with this case? Such a small definition for such a big matter. Freedom of speech is the First Amendment of the Constitution. Yes, most of us don't understand its value till we get into a point where speaking your beliefs becomes inappropriate. Freedom of speech protects the right of a person to publicly state opinions and ideas without any legal ramifications. The term speech includes far more than just words. My website is my place to speak my mind, to present my art and work and share it with customers all over the world. My conservative beliefs about the institution of marriage are publicly expressed at my website and in my work, I cannot see myself promoting things that I can't support in my personal life. Freedom of speech is one of the biggest foundations in our nation's constitution. I'm here not only for the sake of myself. The Anti-Discrimination Act is definitely an important matter, and I do believe that every single one of us should be accepted as they are. I'm willing to work with same-sex couples, but not as a wedding website designer. I believe that as a representative, my wedding website should be protected under the First Amendment of the Constitution. I believe that the justices of this respected court would see the importance of this case, and I'm thankful that you dedicated your time to listen to my case. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Your Honor, the case we have today is actually very, very simple. The state of Colorado has an Anti-Discrimination Act from 1957. Ms. Smith goes directly against it. Everything she wants to do, and the fact she does not want to provide any services to this couple just because they are a same-sex couple that wants to get married in the state of Colorado is absolutely and beyond any reasonable doubt illegal. Furthermore, in 2008, it was amended to the Anti-Discrimination Act to include any sort of discrimination based on gender identity, LGBTQ publics, and anything from this realm. So, this lady just wants to discriminate this couple because they are a same-sex. We are now in the year of 2023. These communities have been neglected and discriminated for far too long. And this state of Colorado will not let it happen again and again and again. Ms. Smith has the right to free speech as anyone else. And we, the state of Colorado, are bound by the First Amendment as all states, but not in the cost of hurting others. If this court will judge in favor of Ms. Smith, it will give a license to discriminate to anyone by his personal beliefs, and we cannot let it happen. It is our duty to give our citizens, without any difference of religion, gender identity, race, and color, the ability to live their lives as equals, to have the right to love whoever they want, to get married, and live the life they want to live. Although the right for free speech of Mrs. Smith is very, very important to us, and the state of Colorado, as all states, is bound by the First Amendment, it is not in the cost of hurting others. The state asks this court to judge in favor of the state of Colorado and ensure its citizens that they have the same rights to live as equals and to enjoy the same privileges as anyone else. Thank you.
Dear Ms. Smith, the state of Colorado, we gather here today in the United States Supreme Court to decide whether the Colorado Anti-Discrimination Act violates the free speech clause of the First Amendment. Lori Smith is a web designer who seeks to expand her business and design wedding websites. Like many states, Colorado has a law forbidding businesses from engaging in discrimination when they sell goods and services to the public. Laws like this have done so much to protect the rights of its citizens. Today, the state of Colorado seeks not only to protect its citizens and oppress populations like the LGBTQ+ community, it seeks to compel Lori Smith to create speech she does not believe in. Today, we're asking the question whether the Colorado Anti-Discrimination Act violates the First Amendment. The government just cannot enforce a person to create his own speech against his personal beliefs. Lori Smith and her religion beliefs do not support the marriage of same-sex couples. Lois Smith is willing to work with same-sex couples in any other subject besides making wedding websites. Let's take an example. If the state will force a Muslim director to make a film with a Zionist message, will it be just? No, it won't be just, and the government, again, cannot force somebody to do something against his will. Any form of speech, from pictures, films, painting, and drawings, are protected under the First Amendment, and this court will not stand any violation of that. To conclude, the state of Colorado seeks to force Ms. Smith to create a speech that is against her belief, and the United States is a place where everyone is allowed to think and speak as they wish. Because the state of Colorado seeks to deny that promise, this judgment is reversed. 5 years ago, this court recognized that the general rule that religious and philosophical obligations to gay marriage does not allow business owners and actors of the economy to deny services and goods to the public, especially to the LGBT community, who is protected under certain laws of Anti-Discrimination Act. But today, this court, for the first time in history, grants a constitutional right to a business open to the public to deny services and goods and refuse to serve members of a protected class. More specifically, the court holds that the First Amendment has the ability to grant a website design company to deny services to same-sex couples who seeks to purchase just a mere wedding website. The free speech clause, as the majority stated, shields that business from laws which are meant to protect a protected population who is often oppressed. Just because the business owner's religious belief states that same-sex marriages are false, that is a mistake. The LGBTQ+ community are just like everybody else. They deserve their equal dignity and freedom.
As we saw, the Supreme Court has ruled in favor of Smith in a 6-3 majority. The majority viewed the ruling as a triumph that upheld artists' First Amendment privilege to speak freely of their thoughts. On the other hand, the dissenting opinions saw the issue as a controversy that could endanger the social welfare of the LGBTQ community. This decision could suggest that the rights of the LGBTQ community are more on a vulnerable legal footing, even more specifically when clashing with religious freedoms, while also limiting the ruling ability of state governments to enforce the anti-discrimination laws. Besides the public reception, the President himself has just put out a message that's saying that the ruling of the court is disappointing and weakens long-standing laws that protect all Americans against discrimination in public accommodations.
צריך להוריד את זה בעריכה. Go!
That,
Right, for
And to this, the state of Texas.
खत्म बाय बाय टाटा गुड बाय